Mr. Foreign Minister, I first want to ask you about the situation in Yemen. Do you think this is maybe the best hope for a breakthrough?
I hope that the Yemeni factions will be able to take advantage of the talks arranged by the United Nations to arrive at a political settlement based on UN Security Council Resolution 2216 and the GCC initiatives and the outcomes of the national dialogue. I believe that it's best for Yemen that they reach agreement so that they can move Yemen from a state of war to a state of peace.
Do you think it means also that no one can win that war, including your alliance?
Well, our objective was not to win the war. Our objective was to defend the legitimate government of Yemen, which we have. Our objective was to remove a strategic threat to Saudi Arabia posed by ballistic missiles and a militia allied with Iran and Hezbollah in possession of an air force, which we believe we have. Our objective is to open up the door for a political process among Yemenis, which we believe has been done. We will continue to protect our borders. We will do whatever it takes to do so and to support the legitimate government of Yemen. The decision on a political process rests with the Yemenis, and the United Nations has now opened the door through a political process in Geneva. And it is unfortunate that with the beginning of the talks today, we have had 3 violations of the ceasefire committed by the Houthis and their ally Ali Abdullah Saleh against Saudi territory, and we remain determined to make sure that we provide for the safety and security of our citizens.
Is Iran, you think, ready to negotiate as well?
Iran has nothing to do with Yemen. Last time I checked, Iran had no border in Yemen. Iran had no role to play in Yemen for thousands of years. The situation in Yemen is between the Yemenis, and the situation in Yemen has a direct impact on Saudi Arabia and our allies in the Gulf, and we are determined to do whatever it takes, first to defend our borders and those of our allies, and number 2 to defend and support the legitimate government of Yemen, and number 3 to help the Yemenis move towards a political settlement. That decision is entirely theirs. We are firm and we are determined to ensure that no harm comes to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or its allies.
You've launched an alliance today, an unprecedented alliance. Is it a way for you to answer a lot of the criticism you hear in the West about Saudi Arabia's role in the war on terrorism?
It is a way for us to mobilize the resources in the Islamic world in order to confront terrorism and extremism in the Islamic world and elsewhere. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been one of the first countries in the world to be struck by terrorists, and we have been one of the first countries in the world to robustly counter terrorism, terror financing, and violent extremism. We have a record of many, many years of firmness and resolve when it comes to dealing with terrorism or violent extremism, and we will continue to do so. We have been calling on the international community for many years to unify its resources in order to combat terrorism, because one country cannot do it alone, and it is our hope that this new coalition that was put together among Islamic countries will be able to provide a quantum leap in the capacities and the effectiveness of countries in the Islamic world in their efforts to confront terrorism and violent extremism.
Just one last word, one reaction. You've lived long in the United States on Donald Trump, his comments on Muslims. Are you shocked?
It is the political funny season in the United States, as they say, and a lot of things are said that are outrageous and that otherwise at other times may not have been said or may not be said. I believe that the comments of Mr. Trump have been repudiated by American officials, both on the Democratic side as well as on the Republican side. They have been repudiated in the opinion pages of U.S. newspapers, and they have been repudiated by thought leaders and by political leaders and by religious leaders all across the world. And so the message of the world to Mr. Trump is very clear, that such statements are not useful and that they don't contribute to the building of bridges. Quite the contrary, they contribute to the encouraging distance and separation among different people and different faiths, which is very, very dangerous and very, very unfortunate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.